from Summer Yoga. Thanks for joining me today for this energizing yoga flow. This is a yoga flow, slightly more energizing, sun salutations, a little bit of flow through chairs and warriors, just to get the heart rate up, get the blood pumping a little bit. Great way to start your day in the morning or to clear out your day after a busy day at work or a busy day rushing around. So when you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start in a cross-legged position, Sukhanasana, cross-legged. If it's comfortable for you to do so, you can take a couple of blocks or cushions, prop up around the sides here, sit on a cushion, sit on whatever makes you feel a little bit comfortable so that you can aim to sit up onto the sit bones and start to drop the knees a little bit lower than the hips, wherever you're comfortable. Let's bring Anjali Mudra to the heart. So that's prayer hands, hands together. Lift the chest to meet the thumbs. Get a little bit longer through the spine. And then let's inhale, take the arms up. Try and keep the shoulders nice and low as you can. And then exhale, release those arms down. 2 more of these. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, release. Breathe out in the mouth on that exhale. Allow it to be a cleansing breath out. 1 more. Inhale, arms up. Zip up in the core as you turn to gaze up towards the fingers. And then exhale, release. This time we're going to inhale, rise the arms up, zip up through the core, and then exhale, turn to look over your left shoulder. Left hand goes behind the back, right hand goes across to the left knee. Inhale, lift through the chest, rise through the heart. Nice long spine. Maybe exhale a little bit deeper into that revolve. Left shoulder pulls back slightly, right shoulder pulls round. Nice rotation of the central thoracic part of the spine. Pelvis stays nice and aligned on the floor. And then release back to center, shake it out a little bit. Hands back to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, take the arms up. And then exhale over to the right. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind the back. Inhale, rise through the chest, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen into that revolve a little bit more. A couple of breaths. Nice and locking around the rib cage here, mobilizing through the spine. Fabulous. Bring it back to center, shake it out a little bit. Let's come round onto the knees into table pose. So this is a more energizing flow today. We're going to get moving, get some sun salutations, get the heart rate up slightly, but we're just going to start to mobilize through the body first of all. So wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Let's inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. And then exhale, push away from the ground, draw the navel in and up, and see if you can lift and squeeze through the pelvic floor as you push away into your cat pose. Inhale, belly lowers and softens as the lungs fill. And then exhale, draw the navel up as we breathe out, push away from the ground, squeeze the abdominal muscles. Couple more of these. Inhale, soften. Exhale, squeeze through the abs. Inhale, soften. And exhale, round through the back again. A couple of more dynamic cat-cows here. Lovely. And now what we're going to do is we're going to rise to our down dog. So take a little bit of weight into the fingertips. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. See if you can pop the knuckles a little bit so you're not taking all the weight into the wrist. So just try and see if you can lift the knuckles a little bit off of the mat. Tuck the toes and we're going to slowly start to lift the hips towards the ceiling, ground the heels down. Take a couple of pedals through the heels to lengthen through the calves. And then ground those heels down. Feet are hip distance apart and the ears are in line with the biceps, the upper arms. From here, we're going to bend the knees nice and deep, and then we're going to step, walk, or whatever way you want to come forward to your forward fold. Nose to the knee, crown of the head sinks down, and then bend the knees nice and deep, and then let's rise. Bring the arms up and overhead. Bring yourself to standing, hands to the heart, and Anjali Mudra. Okay, let's start with sun salutation A. I'm coming towards the back of my mat here just so I can stay in shot on the camera. You guys come to the front of your mat. It'll make it a little bit easier. All 4 corners of the feet are connected with the mat. And then let's inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge from the hips, zip up through the core, but bend the knees if you need to support the belly onto the thighs if required. And then crown of the head starts to anchor down. And then lengthen through the backs of the legs, lift through the hips a little bit more if you can. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten through the backs of the legs. Turn to look forward, lengthen through the spine, hands on the shins or the thighs. Tailbone pushes back, crown of the head goes forward. And then exhale, zip up in the core a little bit. See if you can zip up in your navel as you forward fold a little bit deeper. This time, inhale, bend the knees. We're going to step back to plank. Take your plank here, push the heels back, wrists below the shoulders, hips are in line with the ankles. Inhale nice and deep. Exhale, lower yourself down to the ground, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. And then inhale, rise for cobra. Hands are next to the ribs so that when you rise, they are underneath the shoulders. And you lift through the front of the body, lift from the navel through to the sternum, through to the chest area. Chin rises just slightly. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, this time push back to table on this round, just because we're taking it a little bit steadier. Tuck the toes and then start to rise through the hips. Start to bring the heels down towards the ground, back to your down dog. 3 Ujjayi breaths here. Inhale nice and deep. Exhale with a slight restriction in the back of the throat, even though we exhale out of the nose. Almost makes a nice internal sound. Can become the soundtrack of our practice. That's about 2 breaths. 1 more breath here. And then bend the knees nice and deep. You can either come back down to table and step 1 foot through at a time, or you can step, walk or hop to the front of the mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees nice and deep, and then let's rise to standing. Bring the hands up and overhead, and then down to the heart. Anjali Mudra. Let's go again here. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold a little bit deeper. Bend the knees, step back to plank on your inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin down to the ground, chaturanga. Inhale, rise for cobra. From here, you can either come back to table or zip up in the core, lift your hips straight up to down dog. Zip up in the core to protect your lower back as you do, and ground down through the heels once you've arrived in down dog. 3 Ujjayi breaths. Nice deep inhale, nice long exhale. That's about 2 breaths. 1 more. And then bend the knees nice and deep. Step, walk or hop to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees nice and deep. And then let's rise to standing, hands to the heart. Anjali Mudra. 1 more flow here of your sun salutation A. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, ground that energy down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees nice and deep, and then step, walk up, step or hop back to plank if it's in your practice. And then exhale, down to the ground, chaturanga. Down to the ground, chaturanga. Inhale, rise to cobra. Lift through the chest as you do, rise through the front body. And then let's rise to our down dog. Heels start to ground down, 3 breaths, Ujjayi breaths in your down dog. Push back through the hips. Take the ears between the upper arms. Heels start to ground down. Lift the navel slightly. You might turn the gaze between the knees. That's about 3 breaths. Bend the knees nice and deep. Step, walk or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees nice and deep, and then rise to standing, hands to the heart. Anjali Mudra. Looking good. So we've started to warm up a little bit now through our sun salutation A poses. Let's bring a chair into our half vinyasa. So let's inhale, take the arms up overhead, Anjali Mudra, lean back, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, start to shift your weight into your heels slightly. Bend the knees, rise to chair, but take the arms out in front. The reason I want you to take your arms out here to start with is because as you start to lift your arms, the weight of the arms can start to collapse the lower back. So I want you to hold the arms here, anchor down through the tailbone, zip up in the core, so we're nice and stable in the lower back, and then rise the arms up. Inhale nice and deep here, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold again. And then inhale, rise back to chair. Take the arms up in front to start with. Zip up, drop the shoulders away from the ears, anchor down through the tailbone, rise the arms. Inhale nice and deep, and then this time take the weight into all four corners of the left foot, and we're going to rise to a one-legged mountain. Hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra and lift through the right leg. And then from here, step it back to Warrior One. Now I'm just going to adjust slightly here in my Warrior One because I'm trying to stay shot on the camera. So left foot is going to come forward so the knee is above the ankle. Back foot is at a 45 degrees, and then we're going to take the arms up. Now see if you can pull that left hip back forward and right hip forward. Your hips are parallel with the front of the mat. Zip up through the core, anchor the lower ribs down, take the arms up overhead. Warrior One, looking good. Nice deep inhale, nice long exhale. Now we're going to take Anjali Mudra above the head, and we are going to flare through the front of the ribs as we lean back into our reverse. Warrior One. Nice deep inhale here, and then exhale. Bring the head back over the heart, over the pelvis, and then swoop the arms back, palms of the hands face inwards. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, rise through the chest. Exhale, forward fold, but pull that left hip back slightly. Humble warrior. So the chest goes down towards the left thigh. All four corners of both feet are nice and engaged, and the hands start to rise up behind the back as high as they can. And we are strong and stable in our humble warrior. And then inhale, lead through the chest. Rise back to standing, release the fingers, zip up in the core again as you bring your arms up. Inhale nice and deep. And then we're going to balance through to our Warrior Two. So take the hands back down to the heart in Anjali Mudra. We're going to balance onto this front left leg. And then we're going to step it back nice and wide into your Warrior Two. Now I've just turned around so that I'm facing the camera in the right direction. You guys don't need to, as long as you can still see the camera. So left knee is now still above the left ankle. This time the left heel is in line with the back arch of the foot. Back arm is in line with the front arm, and then just pull back just slightly so the head, heart and pelvis are overlined, and then turn your gaze down that middle finger. On the left hand, you're looking forward to the future. Inhale nice and deep, and then turn the left palm to face up, and then lean back to reverse your warrior. Left hand comes up, right hand comes to the back of the leg. See if you can sink a bit deeper into that front left knee and turn the gaze up. Push into the back, outside of the back foot, and grip through that left toe as well. In left big toe, we need the big toes to be working. Inhale, bring the arms back to level, and then left forearm rests onto the left thigh as we swoop the right arm up and over into our side angle, but modified variation here. Or you can take the hand down to the ground into your side angle. Push through the legs, rise strong in the core back to Warrior Two. Inhale nice and deep, and then bring the hands to the heart. Turn to face forward, come up on your back toe into a high lunge, and then be strong in that front leg as you come to the front of the mat. Bring yourself out. Shake it out. Lovely. We're going to do the same flow again, but on the opposite side this time. So all four corners of the feet are connected. Let's inhale, rise through the arms, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold again. And then inhale, rise to chair. Arms come out straight to start with until you've got used to stabilizing in the core. We don't want to be here, collapsing the lower back. We don't want to be under tucked to the tailbone. We want to be nice and stable in the core, and we don't want the arms to throw that out. So take the weight into the heels. Inhale, nice and deep. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back again. Exhale, forward fold. And then rise again to your chair. The flat back, you can add that in as an optional extra at any point if it's going to help you to lengthen through your spine. Arms come up overhead. Inhale nice and deep, and this time we're going to take the weight into the right foot, and we're going to rise left knee to the chest, left hands to the heart. We are in our one-legged mountain. Inhale nice and deep, and then exhale, step back to your Warrior One. Shuffle forward slightly so I make sure I'm in shot. I definitely need a better camera setup here. So as you can see, your right knee is above the right ankle. Back foot is at a 45 degree. We're going to pull the right hip back slightly and the left hip forward, and then we're going to take the arms up and overhead. Anchor those lower ribs down. Pelvis is facing forward to the front of the mat. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Inhale nice and deep, and then take Anjali Mudra above the head and lean back. Exhale nice and long. And then inhale, head over heart over pelvis again. Swoop those hands back. Interlace the fingers behind the spine. Inhale, lift through the chest, and exhale forward into humble warrior. Right hip pulls back slightly, and we stabilize through all four corners of both feet, and we rise the arms up. Inhale, lead through the chest. Bring yourself back up to standing, come back to warrior one. And then we're going to balance through our transition into warrior two. It is a red hot summer's day today, and I can't put the aircon on because it's going to distort the noise. It's about 32 degrees in here, so this is a bit like hot yoga as well. Take the hands to Anjali Mudra, all four corners of this front foot. Balance for a second and then step back. Widen your stance. Bend deeper through that front knee now. Your front heel is in line with your back arch of the foot now, and your hips have rolled out to the side as this knee starts to come over this ankle. Take the arms up. Pull back just slightly through the body so you know your head is over heart over pelvis. Turn your gaze to the future down your middle finger. This is your drishti, your gaze, your center of focus. Inhale nice and deep, exhale nice and long. And then turn that palm of the hand face up, that front right palm of the hand. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand comes to the back of the thigh. Sink down into that front knee. Inhale nice and deep. Exhale nice and long. And then bring yourself back to center. Forearm onto the thigh, swoop that left arm up and over. The left upper arm is in line with the ear. You're making a straight line from your middle finger to your outer ankle. And if you want to take your hand down onto the ground, you can do so here. Inhale nice and deep. Exhale nice and long. And then push into all four corners of the feet, rise back up to warrior two. Nice deep inhale, exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Turn to face forward. Come up onto that back toe so you're in a nice deep high lunge now, balancing. Take the weight into that front leg and bring it forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift flat back. Exhale, forward fold again. We're going to bend the knees nice and deep. Step back to a final plank as we come down. Back towards the mat, come out of our short energizing flow. Heels push back, inhale nice and deep. Exhale, lower to the ground. Inhale, lift for one more, opening of the front body through cobra. And then exhale, push back to child's pose. Close the body down here, we rest and we settle. You can stack the fists and rest the forehead here. Or take the hands down the side of the body, forehead to the mat. Take a moment to have a couple of breaths here in your child's pose. Allow yourself to rest just for a moment. And then we're going to sit ourselves up nice and steadily. Bring yourself into a seated position. I can't believe how hot it is in here today. Extend the legs out. Sit up onto your sit bones. So don't allow yourself to collapse back into the coccyx part of the pelvis. You want to be up on the sit bones, sitting up nice and tall. Pull your toes back towards the shins and push your heels away. Switch on the backs of the legs, and then let's inhale, rise the arms up. Your back should feel active, your core is engaged. Inhale nice and deep in your Dandasana, and then exhale, forward fold, nose to knee. Couple of breaths. Place your hands onto your shins, inhale, rise through the chest. Exhale, forward fold a little bit deeper. And then soften and release. Out of that, we're going to bring it down to the ground, where we are going to bring ourselves into Savasana. But first of all, we're just going to release a little bit through the back. Take the feet as wide as the mat. Take the arms out to a T with the palms of the hands facing up, and just window wipe the legs from side to side just for a moment. If it's uncomfortable in the shoulders, just rest the hands on the belly. It's absolutely fine. We're just going to window wipe the legs from side to side, loosen through the back, loosen through the belly, slight release through the hips. Allow yourself to be a little bit soft here. Allow the legs to fall entirely to the left now and the head to drop to the right. Couple of nice deep breaths. And just as much as we fire up our dynamic action, we need to be able to switch on our soft, nurturing, cooling. This is the balance of our Ida and our pingular energies, our nadis. Bring your knees back to center. Drop them over to the right. Turn your head to the left. A couple of breaths here. And again, we balance through our left side now, our Ida, our more cooling, nurturing energy. We need a happy balance of both. Very similar, linked to the two hemispheres of our brain, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. We need both to be in balance. And from here, we come back to equal, balanced alignment of Savasana. Allow your legs to rest easy, the palms of the hands to face up. The body returns to neutral. And you can just close your eyes here and observe the breath just for a few rounds. You can be here for as long as you want, or you can finish your practice now. Whatever works for you. Enjoy the rest of your day.